came from a beautiful planet. All the terrain you could imagine, animals, weather, it was wild. Deserts, we'd settled all over the planet, including in the deepest of the deserts. Beaches, it was beautiful. We had cities too. My wife and I lived in a city. I'm Clay. She's Kira. We had a nice little home. Not a big spot, but enough space for a garden. Visitors would come by whenever they felt like it. It was a friendly place. We didn't want for much. Keep the place tidy. Work on the garden. Read a book. And have a beer once in a while. We really enjoyed it. We were in love. Spend our time just hanging out, having fun. When Kira wasn't working, she was an engineer, physicist. Here in the city we lived in, most everybody was pretty friendly. We didn't have any problems with anybody. Just living the good life. There was occasional troubles, but that's from outsiders. We'd spend our days working on the garden, though neither of us very good at it. And guests would stop by all the time, all the friends in the neighborhood. Whole city is one big neighborhood, really. Once again, it was a good life. We enjoyed it, and we enjoyed each other's company. Even enjoyed the chores we had to do. Just taking care of the place, hanging out. We spent all of our time together when she wasn't working. And the city was a nice place. We didn't have many complaints. And then we got news that something bad was coming. Something that was going to wreck the planet. There was a meteorite, a huge one. Big enough to take this whole place out and then some. Kira got called in. She was a physicist. The government built all these labs everywhere. They wanted people to figure out how to build ships. So they took all the scientists, put them in the labs, put them to work. They're pretty advanced places. All kinds of research going on. They were essentially bunkers. They had their own security forces. Well protected, so I didn't have any worries that she was going to get hurt. I didn't get to see her as much as I'd like to, but it is what it is. She'd write, call, Skype, whatever, just to let me know what she's up to. She said she spent most of her days just researching, trying to figure out how to build these ships. And that was a good thing she did, because she got us both a trip off the planet. Although I didn't see her very much in them last couple months. I spent my time at home, just hanging out, not doing too much. In all honesty, I was anxious, scared. I missed my wife. So I just hung out, ate food, watched TV. I let the garden go. I didn't have it in me to harvest anything. Spent way too much time drinking way too many beers, trying to get my nerves to calm down a bit. And that's what it did, man. Just hung out. Didn't even get many visitors those days. Everybody was so anxious. She'd write frequently enough, let me know things were going well. They were making great progress. They had everything they needed, and they were well protected and taken care of. Most of them security people, highly trained. Random citizens periodically would attack the base, trying to get in there, thinking they had the answers. And most everybody was terrified. We're all gonna die if we stay. They were so well equipped, those security forces. Any of them citizens that got ballsy enough, man, they didn't stand a chance. Between the guns on the base, or the forces that they had hired, Things went nuts, man. They could take care of any threat, so they claimed. And so they did. Most of them security people wouldn't even be getting on the flight out of here. But their children would. That was the price they were paying. Get their kids off the planet. Try and get them to survive. They didn't bother much with all the citizens they killed. Just normal people, man. Just scared. Whatever. They just heaped up the bodies. Picked them up and put them wherever. The bodies piled up. Over the months, the ship was being worked on. Kira said it was pretty disgusting. There wasn't much she could do. Eventually, they figured it out and started building the ship. Figured out the engine, basic structure. Thing came together. She said it was one of the biggest ones she'd heard of. They got the engine sorted out. Made as many little sleep pods as they could. Get as many people out of here as they could. And man, did they make a lot. According to her, anyway. And a couple months later, it was done. It was time to go. Time to get out of here before the place went up. People were loading up. Some of the security personnel. And it was Kira and my turn. We kissed. Hopped on in. Waited for the rest of the people to come in and fill it up. And eventually, the ship was ready. It was time to take off. And that's what we did. We got on off the planet. We were gonna live. Or so we thought. We blasted off. There were other ships taking off too. People getting away. And the meteor came. It broke apart into a few pieces, but there was still a huge chunk. Smacked straight into the planet, almost perpendicular. Computer's AI looked into it, said it blasted it down to the core, shot half the planet out into space. But we were all sleeping, just drifting through space, headed for some planet somewhere they'd picked out, said it'd be safe to live on. But a few hundred years into the trip, something went wrong. Ship's AI recognized 15 to 20 of the occupants had been compromised somehow. Something had gotten into their sleep pods, either killed them or done something. The readings were bizarre. The ship couldn't make sense of it, so it steered us to the nearest planet, started shooting us all down. We didn't have a choice in the matter. We ended up scattered all over the place. Now here we are. We have to see if we can make it here. If we want to make it here, maybe we can get back to space. Move on somehow. Hopefully I can find Kira, and we can figure out where to go from there. It's not gonna be easy. What is going on, people? Welcome. Johnny here, and we are gonna start another narrative episode. So let's take a look at the mods here in RimWorld. And there's gonna be more than a few. Nothing extremely game changing. We're adding, let's talk about some of the big ones here. You'll see we have alien races, we'll get to that. Extra floors, extra veggies and drinks and such. Rim cities, this is huge. So we're gonna get abandoned and friendly cities all around. And they'll just appear on the map. We'll actually start in one of them. We'll talk about that. Much like the last narrative episode, we're gonna do camera plus to zoom in and zoom out. We're going to do follow me, so the camera will follow our pawn, and facial stuff to add a little more character to it. Some of these, like don't stop the music, visible pants, they don't really do a lot, but just add a little more flavor. Same as animal variety coats. Color-coded mood bar makes it simpler to see their mood at a glance. Mod switch is just for me to manage mods. We have the Alien versus Predator mod. We're not going to use the predators, we're only going to use the aliens. So we're going to try and do like an alien movie, RimWorld style. So that's how we're going to try and rock this. And Otherwise, a few of the basics I always have. Maraf, just adds a Maraf, mine it all, makes mining veins simple, you don't have to babysit it so much. I added additional joy objects as well, so we'll see how that plays out. So, let's look at options, mod settings. So, Rim Cities is the one I haven't really used before. I've putzed with it just to make sure it would work for this. So we kicked up the city spawn frequency, and we're allowing city events, city quests, so on and so forth. Also, Alien vs. Predator has some settings, so we're only enabling the xenomorphs. We're not enabling the predators, like I said. And no hidden impregnations, because it says pawns will spawn impregnated with an alien. We don't want that. So, that said, okay, so I've altered one of the city scenarios, and we'll just take a look. You actually start with one person. I've removed everything from them that they can possibly start with, except you can't remove their clothes. That's just built in, but that's okay. So we'll start clothed this time. Buy drop pod in an abandoned city, despite what this is saying. There you go. So, we will save that, back, and carry on. So we're going to do Randy Random, because he's the fun one for something like this. And 100% map. And let's do Xenomorph as our random seed. We're also going to reduce these 1 tick each. So there'll be less rainfall and lower temperatures than normal. Let's see what they come up with for a map for us. Like I said, this will be a narrative playthrough, so those of you that aren't familiar with that should go back and watch an episode or two of my previous narrative playthrough. It's not like a typical YouTube playthrough of a game, so it's more just narrating the pawn's thoughts as he goes about doing what he's doing. Okay, so as you can see, messing around with those mod settings makes lots of cities appear. And we're gonna start on an abandoned city regardless of where we go. So it'd be, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's all about the biome. Here, let's start here. No excitement happening over there. I wonder if you start over there, when you get the message saying that there's a spaceship, is it like right nearby? That's an interesting thought. Or would it be over here where you could never possibly get to it? I want to do tundra or desert or something as a start. And I want to be on a road, but flat land. And somewhat close to other people. Here, this will work. We don't want to be too close to other people. How about there? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're at 12.7 degrees south, 119.94 degrees west. Now, for the pawn, I want to change the name, and I want to add a wife to him. So we'll have a fella whose wife also crashed down on the planet somewhere. Maybe they'll reunite. Maybe she'll join an enemy faction and get killed. And then he'll be really upset. I also kind of want him to look different than our previous pawn. So I'm just going to putz around here, and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, so here we are. We have Clay. He's a grunt, low-wage worker. Clayton Flager. I tried to keep him under 1,800 points and succeeded. He has no health issues. He's 41 years old, biologically. And if we look at relationships, he's got a wife, Kira, who we saw during the intro there. And Kira is a particle physicist. We're going to send her to a savage tribe. And then, yeah, you can see her stats here. I don't know what her points cost is, but whatever. It's fine. We may or may not even end up with her in the end. So, those are our pawns. So let's just jump right in and, I guess we could look at their stats. He's a jogger, tough, xenophobe. And then, we gotta go this way. She, beautiful, too smart. We're gonna make her a xenophobe as well. There you go. I'm going to save that just in case. And yeah, alright. So with that, we will jump in. Alright. Touchdown. There's our boy. So this is where the save file is going to start. Right here. Boom. Now, let's take a look around. We have hostiles we'll have to deal with. This cat looks dead, but he's left an incendiary launcher there. This guy's got some serious armor on that we're going to have to deal with. And an assault rifle. Yeah, that doesn't look good. What about the rest of these cats? I don't know how we sneak up on those dudes. But that's going to be a problem, so we'll deal with some hostiles, find a place to hole up for the night, find some food, figure out where to go from there. So stay tuned. Episode 1 will jump right in with Clay as the narrator. I will not be in it until live or die at the end of this playthrough. So thanks for watching, guys. Consider supporting me. Buy me a coffee. Become a patron. See you guys next time.